So I was on my favourite blog. Was reading up on some shit as part of my independent research. Made total sense to me. People just don't know how to open their minds past what they already believe. But I do. My third eye is open and ready for some sweet involvement. Did a bit more scrolling, thinking about which people Courtyard picked to put on our nachos and fuck with our mental health. Then I saw something that really piqued my interest. York lecturer murdered with long-lost axe. And I thought, damn. And then I said damn. To myself. Damn. I was alone. I don't let anyone know that I look at this shit, or that I talk to myself. Yeah, that's kind of abnormal. Started thinking about the shit that the article was talking about. Thinking about the idea of an axe just lying around on campus, covered in rust, and zinc, and bad karma, and little bacteria that talk to each other. Thought about death and how it's everywhere. What a Tuesday night, I said to myself. And then I smiled. And then I stopped smiling because the article got really bleak. A young man under the name of Simon Jones was found murdered on the University of York campus in the summer of 1987. His autopsy implied that he was killed in an axe attack. The autopsy? What about the fact that by the time the police found him he probably looked like a dropped lasagna? After deducing this, the police investigating the murder searched all over the buildings and fields of the campus, looking for an axe or any clues that could possibly lead to one. But after days and days of searching with no prevail, it was eventually concluded that the axe must have been thrown into the lake at the center of the campus, which would make it impossible to retrieve. To test this theory that the axe would be irretrievable, the police then procured another axe and threw that into the lake, watching its descent. After it eventually fell out of sight and they attempted to fish it out, they realized that axe was now too lost. Wow. Had to have a good stop and think about that. There might be 2 axes in the lake. And if there isn't, there's almost definitely one, and it's there for almost the stupidest reason. What if someone drains the lake and finds that axe and then completely loses it? And that's it for them. That's them done. How would you explain that axe to that person? Oh, don't worry, that axe is just an axe that the police threw into the lake when they were looking for another axe that probably murdered someone. Oh, that axe isn't here, which means that it's probably somewhere else, and that the axe murderer wasn't caught and probably never will be. What's wrong? Why are you crying? Started thinking about some young kid on work experience helping to filter out the lake or something, and he finds the axe, and now he's thinking about death and how one day he'll die too, and he could die by getting chopped up with an axe. Got sadder thinking about that than the guy Simon who actually died. He had it easier because he probably didn't have to look at the axe too much before he got turned into passata. Everyone else left alive now has to deal with it, including that kid on work experience, and the people who run that blog, and now me. Another weight on my shoulders. It's not so easy being sensitive to the plight of the world, or staying up until 6 every night on LiveJournal, looking for justifiable reasons to drop out of university and just learn how to play the auto harp.